Okay, welcome to Canada. It's the Great White North. I'm in Muskoka, which is like a couple hours north of Toronto. I have an idea. I'm gonna start a new series on this channel. It's gonna be called Anti-Chef Cooks the World. I just have a fascination with learning about different countries and cultures and foods, and even made it a goal last year while we were all cooped up to memorize every single country that there is through this like country quiz that's available online. I'll link it down below. Try it out yourself, see what you can get. I'll admit that a couple of years ago I was pretty oblivious to a lot of this stuff, but you know, moving to Europe just kind of expanded my mind a bit. But with a cooking show at my disposal, what better way to further my knowledge of all this kind of stuff than to cook food from all the countries? Like 197. Could be their national dish, it could be just a popular dish from that country. I'll go in alphabetical order, so it'll be A to Z or Z in Canada. But since I'm here right now in Canada, a country that I'm from, I'm gonna kick off episode 1 making one of my favorite treats of all time, something that I grew up eating, Nanaimo Bars. Now, Nanaimo Bars are from Nanaimo, which is on the west coast. It's a city on Vancouver Island. Like, this is a no-bake treat. It's like a 3-layer chocolate on the top, this custard layer in the middle, and on the bottom is like this crumb layer. There is this internet debate, this is recent, where a bunch of people were arguing about the correct ratio when it comes to these 3 layers. New York Times came out with this recipe, and then Canadians saw it and they got all up in arms. I don't know, I don't care, life's too short. But I did see the photo in question, and I will agree that that does not look anything like a Nanaimo bar. The proportions are all wrong, it's all out of whack, it's offensive, and such a disgrace to my dessert heritage. Anywho, what better place to find a Nanaimo bar recipe than the City of Nanaimo's website? So that's what we're gonna make today. Let's go inside and make it, because I'm cold, because it's Canada. Half a cup of butter, 1/4 cup of sugar, 5 tablespoons of cocoa powder, 1 beaten egg, 1 3/4 cup of graham cracker crumbs, half a cup of finely chopped almonds. This took like 10 minutes. 1 cup of grated coconut. Okay, here's everything I need for the bottom layer. So I need a bowl, and we're gonna go over the stove. Ooh. Saucepan with boiling, simmering water. On goes the bowl. Add the butter, sugar, cocoa powder. With my ladybug spatula, I'm going to get the butter melting and mix it together with all this stuff. If you were smart, you could probably cut up the butter into cubes and then add it in that way, but for some reason I added a big old block. You don't need to do that. Lower the temperature a bit and then add the egg. Cook that egg a little bit and thicken it. And take this off the heat. Step aside. Mix in the graham cracker crumbs, coconut, and the almonds. Mix it all in. So you need a baking pan, preferably 8 by 8. This is 8 by something larger than 8, but that's what I have, ungreased. And I'm gonna add the bottom layer into this. If it's too much, it's too much. With the ladybugs, I'm gonna flatten this bottom layer to the bottom of my ungreased pan. Hopefully this pan isn't too big and I'm stretching this bottom layer too thin. We're good. Okay, next up. Half a cup of unsalted butter, 40 milliliters of heavy cream. This is custard powder. I needed a vanilla custard powder. This is just like custard powder without the vanilla. And I need vanilla, so I bought vanilla. And I'll add that in later on. And that is all I'll ever need from this. Put the cap on, and this is gonna stay in the pantry for 100 years. 2 cups of icing sugar. So we're gonna move on to our second layer, which is like a custard layer. So I'm gonna need another bowl. Thank you. Butter. Nothing but net. So with your trusty granny mixer, hand mixer, egg beater, whatever. First I'm gonna cream together the butter. Add the cream. Don't worry, it's unplugged. custard powder. Whoa, that just made it really yellow, didn't it? Icing sugar, like a teaspoon of vanilla. So I'm gonna beat this until it's light and fluffy. The hell? You guessed it, add this custard layer onto the bottom layer. So because this pan is bigger than what the recipe says, I had to make another half amount of that second layer. Since I'm gonna add another layer on top, I want these edges cleaned. So bring the Zamboni through. Okay, so we are on the third layer. This is the final layer of this beast. And you need chocolate. Half a cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips mixed with 2 tablespoons of butter. So melt the butter and the chocolate in another double boiler. So I'm gonna let it cool for a second or a minute or two, but it still needs to be like a liquid enough to pour on top. So don't let it cool too much. Spread it evenly on top, quickly. Might be melting the second layer. I'm not 100% sure, but it might be. Currently don't have my offset spatula with me, but if I did, I would be using it right about now. Okay, so I want this chilled, so I'm just gonna leave it in the fridge well, until it's chilled. Not too long later. Cut into squares or rectangles. I have absolutely no idea how I'm gonna get this out of the pan. It is like in there good. Not that I want that to happen, but ooh. The thing is, I just need to get the first few out and go from there. Oh. Okay, I got some. I think I made enough. It's a thing of beauty, and it looks exactly like all the other ones I've had. Surprisingly, every single Nanaimo bar I've ever had has been tremendous. Oh, there's Canadian sun shining on it. Look at that top chocolate layer with that middle custard layer, and then my personal favorite, which is this bottom layer. It's the layer with the coconut. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. So I've been enjoying these things all my life, and I'm excited to introduce it to you, and I hope you can enjoy it too. This is the Nanaimo Bar from Nanaimo.